Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Wherever you may be around the globe, this is a Monday morning, and it certainly is an interesting Monday morning. There's so many things have transpired over not the holiday, but over the weekend. And now we're back, added, even with this, Tiffany, we never stopped over the weekend, okay? But some
At
people
all.
may have stopped over the weekend. They
Mm-mm.
may have that self care situation going on, or whatever it may be. But our week just seems to just go through that weekend, right? It's always working for us. But I just want
Non-stop.
to tell you, huh? It's
Non-stop.
nonstop wherever you may be, whatever you may be into. We'd like to welcome you this Monday morning. This Monday morning, a brand new day, a brand new week. And the second week of a fresh, brand new year. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And I teach women how to maximize their potential, how to write their books, and stop leaving money on the table, how to stop making those costly mistakes and save themselves some time. And by doing it the right way. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. And there's also a right way and an easy way without
Yeah.
you having to, really trying to
Mhm.
sit there and pull your hair out. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, people get confused. They pull their
Mhm.
hair out. So that's
Mhm.
what we do here on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And our information is at the bottom of the screen. Anytime you want to get in touch with Tiffany or myself, just go to that information at the bottom of the screen.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
want you to be interactive with us. So ask us questions as we go through the broadcast because
Yeah.
we like to hear from our viewers.
Mhm.
There's so many of you who have been viewing these broadcasts, and a lot of times you're not chiming in. And
Right.
that's okay.
Mhm.
Tiffany, that's okay too.
It is.
They
It
could be
is.
there, they could get the information. But
Mhm.
if you have a question, don't forget to ask us those questions. Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Tiffany, introduce yourself to the
Absolutely.
people.
Good morning, everyone. As you said, welcome to Monday. It is a beautiful day to be in the land of the living. And I guess we kind of have to shift our mindset, and that is what I'm attempting to do right now. And so you guys are getting a live mind shift
Oh,
for
yes.
me this morning. So you get to see how I'm getting ready to shift my mind because it's one of those little morning. Where is everything? Where is everything? What's happening? Where? So I am gathering myself still. So please forgive me. Well, welcome to Monday. I am Tiffany Rochelle. I am an author, a heart coach, and a speaker. I am here with Miss Gertrude, the co-host of this In Here show. What I do is encourage women to rid the toxins from their heart and to set goals that are true to you. And so I'm going to give it back over to Miss Gertrude after I share with you to make sure you comment in the comment section and make sure you interact with us. As she stated, yeah, it is okay for you to tune in and just kind of like have your listening ear. If you're not going to comment with us, then at least go ahead and make sure you get you some good notes. It's something that you'll be able to follow up on for whatever plans and strategies that you may get from us. So at least go ahead, share this. If you find something in this broadcast that's beneficial to you, share it to your page, share it with a friend or a loved one so that they'll be able to be encouraged just like you were as well. So it is the time for me to give it over to Ms. Gertrude, and we are getting ready to turn your passion into profit.
Yes, turning your passion into profit.
Yeah.
That's something that, a lot of times people are, they apprehensive about because they don't know really how to turn their passion into profit. And, the story today or the topic today is your story is an opportunity. And, no
It
matter how your story is, it's an opportunity. Don't ever shy away from your story because I'm going to tell you, my story was a redirection, it has to do with a redirection in my life. And, so many times, um, right now, currently, Tiffany, with the pandemic and, the different situations that's going on, people may find themselves in a similar situation, a redirection to what they had been accustomed to doing. But mine go back to 2006, where I was suddenly laid off from, from my job. And not only me, but there was a lot of other people who had got suddenly laid off. And, something that I hadn't thought about before. And like I said, authors, your story is an opportunity, because that redirection created this walk in my life.
Okay.
This writing journey in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It put me, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
on the path to a whole different thing that I wasn't even thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get a sip of water, go ahead and chime in on that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You definitely want to be able to share your story, because we all have journeys that we are on, and in the process of us being in the journey of this thing called life, is something that we want to share some of our experiences in, because you just never know who it's going to help. And even I'm going to go a step further, is enjoy the journey, because there's so many things that you get a chance to learn in the process of going through that journey. Sometimes we'll wait and reflect back on it. And then when we reflect on it, you're like, oh, aha. But I think it's imperative that as we go through things in life, or as we go through the journey, for us to pay attention to certain things. There's situations that we'll have going on. And if we're cognizant of it in the now, you don't have to, it might speed your journey up. Now, we don't want an expeditious journey, to so to speak. But in the process of going there, and I just believe that we should always be cognizant of everything that happens around us, as well as happening to us, so that you're able to pick up and hone in on those things. So you know the things that you like, the things that you don't like, the things that you appreciate, the things that you don't appreciate, things that smell great. Pete, I'll tell you this: pistachios were my favorite nut growing up. I absolutely love those. And it was something that me and my mother enjoyed. And that was just like our little pleasure. That was just something that she was a workaholic. So that was like one of those little things that our bonding time. We just get our little pistachios together and we watch a little TV show or whatever and just talk, go to the mall, eating pistachios. Well, once I moved down here to Florida, I got a hold of some pistachios and I can't eat them anymore. My throat started swelling up, and it's something that I can't eat. This sound, kind of like that you had. I did a lot of yelling yesterday, so my voice will eventually come back. However, it's just something that I can't eat anymore. I guess I have now an allergy to them. But things that as you grow in life and as you go through things, certain things changes, and you just have to be cognizant of it. So I could have been an idiot, and I could have been like, oh, well, no, those was just a bad bunch. I mean, I did try it a few times just to see, like, is this really, how can I get an allergy now? I'm too old to start having allergies. No, your body changes, things change, and it's okay to grow through your journey. So it transitions, and enjoy the journey of this thing called life. Enjoy your experiences and don't be afraid to share them.
Yeah, and that's so that's so true. Your story is an opportunity. Don't forget to, to share them. Don't hold back. The second part of this, those problem solving things, always share your story, because I know my story has helped a lot of people. And I took my story and, wrote it in a way that people could connect with that. Even though their situation may have been different, but still there was a way that I tied it in. And authors, that's how you need to always be in remembrance of that, or a reminder, always tie your story in, so people could begin to see, how they could go through and accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish, that goal. Because like I said, when the housing market went bust in 2006, and I had to go through that, not having a impeccable resume with all this experience, and didn't understand why, putting my resumes in the morning, and didn't understand why people were not calling me, and I fell into a depression, because Now I had bill collectors calling my house, wanting payments, and that had never happened to me before. Okay, never happened to me before
That's
because I always
unfamiliar.
paid. Huh?
That was unfamiliar for you.
Yeah, very unfamiliar
Mhm.
because I always paid my bills ahead of time and before time.
Yeah.
And now I had people calling me.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
understand?
Mhm.
And when I give my word about something
Yeah.
and I can't fulfill it, that's something that really bothers me.
Heck
You
yeah.
understand? And I
Mhm.
know these are things that could bother other people too. So
Mhm.
my story, I was able to share my story and my
Yeah.
story. And this is how you are, Arthur. You're able to share your story, and your
Mhm.
story, helps people see where they are.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe they didn't go through the housing crisis back in
Right.
2006, but
Right.
they went through a pandemic. Okay.
Mhm.
A suddenly is a suddenly, no matter how it is.
Mhm.
Okay. The fire is hot, no matter how it is. How many people have lost their jobs and different things of that nature? How many
Sure.
people have had things happen in their lives? So,
Mhm.
your story is an opportunity.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
then I got a job after,
Mhm.
many weeks out there trying to look for a job. I
Mhm.
got a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worked 7 months, got
Mhm.
laid off again.
Wow.
Got
Wow.
laid off again because there
Wow.
was a bank merger
Mhm.
and they closed that location. Of course, they offered me another job in a, closer, even closer to my house,
Okay.
but it was not a guarantee. So
Okay.
how many people are
Mhm.
fitting into that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? So,
Yeah.
Auntie, you have to know how to write your story in
Mhm.
order,
Mhm.
to provide those opportunities.
Sure.
You
Sure.
know,
Sure.
it's a lot in there. So that's
Mhm.
why you can't hold back
You
on,
can.
telling your story or writing your
Mhm.
story.
Yeah.
Even when it's uncomfortable, even when, it's situations that you don't want to face,
Mhm.
even those things like falling in depression.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiffany, I used to cry.
Mhm.
I used to cry in the afternoon. Yes, I
Mhm.
did. Because
Mhm.
I didn't understand. Now,
Mhm.
how can they not hire me? And
Yeah.
I have all this experience. I
Mhm.
have this education. I
Mhm.
have this knowledge. I
Mhm.
know it back and forth.
Yeah.
You see, it
Mhm.
wasn't the time. You see,
Mhm.
sometimes we have to understand we have to go through a little something, something, okay?
Absolutely.
It's
Talk
not
to
for
me.
us, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't understand it that it's not for us.
Mhm.
But this is something that we have to look at in this way also.
Mhm.
Those things that touch us
Yeah. Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't understand that, the things that they go through is not about them.
Yeah.
It's something
Yeah.
that they were allowed to go through in
Mhm.
order to teach somebody else.
Yeah. Sure enough.
But you see, at that particular time, I did not understand that.
Right.
And you see, this is something that some people will hold back on. They'll say, oh, well, I can't share that because people, what they're going to think about me, what they're going to say about me. But, be realistic, be
Yeah.
human, okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
That human part is the thing that
Mhm.
humanity that ties people in.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
your story is an opportunity.
Yeah.
So don't ever be afraid to tell your story.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's true. How many
Yeah.
people fall into this?
Yeah. And it's a good thing. It's deciding.
Good
uh,
morning, Lakeisha.
Good morning, Lakeisha. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Um, there's decisions that we often have to make, and
Mm-hmm,
I'm so grateful that that you were able to share that
mm-hmm.
with us in there, because I'm like, you could have easily folded in the
Oh, yeah.
process of your transition. You're like, do I keep my stuff or do I just do? And depression becomes real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Call. How you doing this
Good
morning?
morning. The depression becomes real, because it can
Mm-hmm.
paralyze you. And if you're not having the right people that's surrounding you, or even if some people need to actually go to the doctor to get some medication to kind of help to balance them in the process
Mm-hmm.
of. But luckily, you were able to push through that, so you were able to shift, and to make some healthy
Yeah.
decisions for your life in the process of that. Uh, is a good thing. So I'm grateful that you were able to make the right decision, so that you were able to have the opportunity to still be here. Wait, true. Our suffering
Yeah.
is not us. Okay. Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we better learn some stuff in the process of that story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
good stuff. Thank you, sir. Here he
Yeah.
comes with
And
his
that's true.
wisdom.
Being vulnerable. Yeah. And
Hmm.
tell your story.
Hmm.
That is true, you know.
Hmm.
Our story is our connection.
It
You know,
is.
that story is our connection. So, you know, you tell people, you know, the truth. Hey, if I can make it, you know, you can make it too.
You sure can too.
You know,
Absolutely.
they need to see that because as we've been saying on these broadcasts, as an author, people are looking at you as a leader. They're
Sure.
looking at you as having that responsibility,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know,
You are.
and you have a great responsibility to speak into people's lives.
Sure
It's
do.
not just about writing a book. It's
Mm-mm.
about having responsibility over people's lives.
Hmm.
And you know, this even brought me to that particular thing
Sure.
when you know the second layoff came,
Okay.
and I said, okay, what am I going to do? I can't go through this emotional roller coaster again.
Hmm.
I cannot do that.
Hmm.
All right. So I
Hmm.
took what I had inside of me. And this is what I'm telling you,
Hmm.
audience. Take what you have inside of you. You have value. You have gems. You have worth. Okay. I always wrote, but I used to write for fun. Okay. I used to do it as a hobby. I wrote for fun. But I turned that hobby into a viable business, not only into writing books, okay, and putting books out there, but a whole business. That's how Turning Point Enrichment Incorporation was birthed through that. So if I could do that, so can you. You know, I pivot. You know, I pivoted, okay? And I believe this. If I had to look at it after the first time, but you see, there was so much going on there, okay? I thought I had to continue climbing the corporate ladder because that's what I was doing. Girl, I love climbing the corporate ladder. Okay, I love those bonuses. I love those paychecks. All right.
Hmm.
And I thought
Absolutely.
I had to continue climbing that corporate ladder.
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
why when the second job came and I took it, worked 7 months. But
Yeah.
then after that,
Hmm.
you know, I'm looking at it. I
Yeah.
can't go through this again.
Can't
Why
do it.
can't I go through that?
Hmm.
So then I turn, what do I have to offer? What's inside of me? What's inside of me that could generate revenue? And that's what we're talking about, our audience, to generate that revenue inside of you. Maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table.
Yeah. 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 You got to maximize. I think that's a catch though, is a lot of us grew up um need, and I won't say needing, but we grew up saying we had to climb the corporate ladder. Sometimes we
Mhm.
may get our corporate jobs and we may go out there and get the actual job to help us get to. Some of us weren't born to be on the corporate ladder. Let me say it that way. There are people that I just don't believe that everybody is an entrepreneur. Now, there are certain things that you can
Mhm.
do. I just don't think that everybody is just built for that lifestyle. Now, there are certain things that
Mhm.
you can have. You can author your book,
Mhm.
you can do certain things for yourself, but
Mhm.
everybody isn't built. There are people that are designed that we need to help make these corporations run. That
Yeah.
is what they're there for. So certain people are born to be entrepreneurs, and then there are others that they are there. That is their gift. They are helping the
Mhm.
corporate and the corporations to be in and establish in a credible company.
Mhm.
Um, but I just think that some of us, you found your niche, and that was something you learned,
Mhm.
and through the layoffs and through the transitions that happened, like,
Mhm.
hey, you know what? All right, mind shift. Let me get this together, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this turning point. So at that was
Mhm.
your turning point, and you were able
Mhm.
to realize, like, hey, let me make this happen. This is my passion. This is my
Yeah.
opportunity. Let me go ahead and start living for real. But I'm grateful that you were able to catch that. And I think we
Mhm.
grow up thinking we have to be in the corporate world. We have to be a banker. We have to be the doctor. We
Mhm.
have to be the lawyer. We have to find what works for us. And then
It's true.
that's our passion and walk in it.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that you got that. Thank
And
you.
that's
That's
so
what that
true.
is.
Yeah, and that was very important because that moves us right into what? Decision making opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
A decision making opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
author.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Many
Mm-hmm.
people are on the brink of those decision making opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Make a decision. And this is what I did. I made a decision that allows for no turning back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we come to those points. Sometimes people are afraid of that. They're afraid to make that decision
Yeah.
because, they want to have something to fall back on and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You got to stop doing that fall back on. You have to make a decision, okay? You have to make a decision where you can stand flat foot and say, I'm going forward,
Going.
full speed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
going forward. There's nothing in the back, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't revisit nothing in the back. Anything I pass from, I'm not going back to.
Right. Uh-huh.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period.
Uh-huh.
Nothing. People,
Yeah.
places, or things. Nothing. Okay?
Nothing.
There's
Right.
nothing in the back. And it comes, like you said, with purpose. And it comes from, forgetting those things which are behind, right?
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. You got to press forward. There ain't no reason to look back. So, I mean, if I'm looking back, it's just I'm grateful for where I came from. So I don't mind reflecting on some of the things, but there's one thing for us to look back and be proud of where we came from. But then there's times that we look back and we want to turn and go back to those ways that we just came from. And there's no purpose in us having to do that. We always should be in a progressive state, grabbing momentum, going forward, moving forward. Sometimes those things are uncertain and you may not know exactly, how you're going to get there because you're so used to the former things, but continue pressing forward, going forward and moving forward. There's people that are up there in your future that they're waiting for you. So keep pressing forward because there's nothing back. That's dead. So why do we want to go back to the dead thing that has no life? It can't do anything for you. Kick a dead person and see what they do. They're not responding to you.
No.
There's nothing there. That's passed away. Let it go. I want to be around something that's life. I want to be around living things. I want to be around something that's going to help me grow and that's going to help me live in my purpose. Dead things ain't gonna do that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Behind you. Yeah.
And it's so true. And purpose is tied to that because when we don't move forward, okay, remember your story is an opportunity. That's why you have to tell your story. And you have to make decisions that allows for no turning back because there are some people that will never complete what they need to complete because you're not telling your story.
Wow.
You're not sharing with them. You're not writing your message because like we said before, your message, it will change people's lives, not only the reader, but the family and generations. So sometimes, it's a selfish thing not to go and, write your message. You're just holding back a lot of times. And I don't think people really understand, but we're trying to help them understand on these broadcasts that the eyes of their understanding will be enlightened to know that they should go forward. They should go forward and stop procrastinating. Okay? Stop procrastinating. Stop sitting back and say, well, one day and just thinking it's about you. It's not about you. It's not about you because now everything that you have inside of you is at a standstill. Wow. And that's what we're talking about, how things should flow from the core. Okay? It should flow from the core. And, authors, you just can't hold back.
Cannot.
You have to go forward. You have to make those decisions that allow for no turning back. And it goes with what is your plan for the future?
You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a plan for your future. And it's a beautiful thing to have a plan. We can't stress enough planning. Have a plan so you know exactly where you're going to go. The future is waiting for you. Time stands still for nobody and it's non-refundable. So you have to make sure that you're planning out where you're getting ready to go, what you want to do, how you're going to do it. Now, understand, even in the process of you making your plan, things can change. We've talked about this before. Write out your plan, and in the process of you write out your plan, maybe you put it in a pencil. So it's not doing away
Yes.
with that plan. Shift it, because it may need to go to a future date. It may need to go to a future time. However, make your plan so you understand where you're getting ready to go, what you need to shift to. So it helps you be able to progress. What you always want to plan, because you don't want to fail.
That's it.
I don't mind failing, because it teaches me some things, but I don't want to fail to plan. So I'm always going to have something that I'm looking forward to, because I want to be a progressive individual. I plan on being a successful individual. I want to see a bright future. We always would say when we're younger, I want a big house, I want a mansion, I want these cars, I want this. How are you going to get to that big house, that big mansion? How are you going to get to these beautiful cars? How are you going to get to all these trips and such that you want if you don't have a plan? And then once you have your plan, you got to work it. There's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to be that individual if you're not making a plan. What is your
Gotta
plan?
have those plans. Yeah, that's so true. You gotta have those plans. I'm dealing with these sinuses today.
We're gonna work through it, sugar.
Sinus season, girl. Sinus season. Okay. But work through those plans. Yeah.
You have to.
Those plans are very important. And I'm excited about, when we do this workshop coming up in February, because I'm gonna tell you, I've been working on that. It's something that you want to be there. You want to be in the room when we do this planning session, because it's not an ordinary planning session. It's something that, because a lot of times people look at plans and they look at it, oh, it's so boring, it's this way, it's that way. But there's a lot more to plans, and when they'll be able to see it, and how to design it, it'll be something different for them.
It's beautiful. Plans are always good. I think of architects, because they make the plans. My stepfather, he was an architect, and he had this big working station. And forgive me, I've always just thought it was a desk, but it's like his big workstation. He had the big paper, and he would always roll it out. And I watch him as he would write out different things, and he's drawing, and he had this. As far as I'm concerned, there's stencils, and he'd have all those different little things, and I'd watch him. It started off as a blank sheet of paper, but once he was finished, the beauty that came out of that, it was just beautiful just to see. But he's the reason why I always say make sure that I make my plans in pencil, because he had those mechanical pencils, and he's always sketching stuff, and he would put something over there, and then he would present it to the individuals, and then whatever it did or didn't work, then all right, he'd come back to the old drawing board, and then he'd make this change, and this is what needed to go. But that was a beautiful thing of me growing up, to be able to see that, because that showed me plans change.
Yes.
But he at least had a blueprint. He had a plan to present to individuals, so that they were able to see that. Now make amendments, make it happen. And then there's some beauty that we were able to behold because of that. But I'm grateful for at least having a plan.
Yeah, got to have a plan, and plans do change. Okay, the goal never changes, but that plan changes, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Because, when you could redesign things, you could do different things. That's the beautiful thing about it. You can enhance that. And, authors, that's why you have to do your plan. But your story is an opportunity. What is your passion? What is your passion? You see, my passion is helping women to maximize their potential. Okay. You have to find what your passion is inside of that story, inside of that purpose. You have to find out what your passion is. We talked about on the previous broadcast, maybe the previous one or two before it, but it was last week, at the end of last week. You have to have more than passion. So you see, the passion is a connector. It's a connector. So you have to have more than that in order to, write your story, write your book. Okay. There's connectors in there, because people could have a passion, and if it's not connected with the right things,
Yeah.
as we talked about on the previous broadcast, it'll fizzle out.
Sure.
It'll fizzle out.
Mhm.
So, what is your passion?
Mhm.
You have to find out what the passion is for you. What is that fire that's burning on the inside of you? What is that fire that cannot be
Yeah.
quenched? What is that thing that really, get your motor revving up? Motor revving. I love, me. I love telling women you
Yeah.
have value. I see so many women. I come across so many women. Okay, where they devaluing themselves. They just living a mediocre life.
Wow.
They're just sitting back and not really paying attention to what they have. And when I'm talking to them, I see it so vividly.
Yeah.
Just like I see you, Tiffany. I see, I see it so vividly. I don't even have to know them.
Yeah.
But I see it so vividly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where they can be and where they are now. And as you start, authors, as you start, pour it into those people's lives, whoever your ideal audience is, what is that message for that ideal audience? What is that message? And you pour into their lives, you'll see that transformation.
Sure.
That's the thing for me. Let me tell you, Tim, that's the thing for me.
Yeah.
That transformation.
Yeah.
When that transformation happens, girl, that's another level for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? It
Absolutely.
does something to me.
Absolutely.
It does something. So you have to find what your passion is.
Mhm.
You have to find, what ignites
Mhm.
it all for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when I say it all for you, in order to connect with your audience,
Sure.
okay? Your
Sure.
story is an opportunity.
Mhm.
Your
Absolutely.
story is an opportunity.
Mhm.
Make that decision that allows for no turning back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And what is your plan for the future?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because it's all about that.
It is.
All
Mhm.
this. What is this? Turning your passion in the profit.
profit.
It's nothing but a plan.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
nothing but a plan.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. And
Things shift, things change, but it's not getting away from the goal.
It doesn't. Don't ever let anything take you away from your goal. Plan out your goals. Know what your goals is, and make sure that that's the catch, is knowing what your goal is. You know your goal, it becomes easy. Things become easy, but your passion is just a strong feeling or emotion. It's something that gives you that drive with that thing that you like and that you love doing. Like you said, you love empowering women. For me, I just love empowering people too. Now, I am that woman. I love empowering women and helping people get through their different things of life. In the various stages of whatever it is, be it you being single, being divorced, whatever it is, I enjoy helping people come out on the other side of through. That is something that I'm beautiful at doing, and I love seeing it. I love doing it. Regardless if you're a male or woman. Now, my specialty is women, but I like seeing everyone empowered. I enjoy it, even the babies. If I got to help you learn to walk, whatever it is, I enjoy helping people, period. That is like my passion. That's my desire, is to see everybody win. I absolutely love it. But that's the beautiful thing about life, is because I learned that's what I wanted. And that's what we need you to do, is to find out that thing that you are passionate about. Lots of my friends are musicians. And they're very passionate about that. They learn that that's something that they enjoy doing. So once you learn what you're passionate about, you put passion behind the things that you like doing. So you're going to be excited about doing certain things that you like. Find what you are passionate about. Find that thing that you love. What is you fine, you like watching TV, then maybe you need to find something in that realm that you help inspire people to want to watch the TV. What is the show? Maybe you need to find out and be the person that's an executive producer or producer. Maybe you need to find cast. Instead of just watching it, be the person that give me that desire to want to watch what it is. Instead of you watching it, you give me something to watch. You be on the other side of it, turning that thing that you're passionate about, turn that into a profit. So don't just watch it. Watch it. You're watching it come to pass. So maybe you like fitness. fine. If you like fitness and you like that good old body and you like the definition in your arms, maybe that's what you're passionate about, making sure people are healthy and get their bodies toned.
Mhm.
I would love a trainer because this body needs to get a little tighter. Nevertheless, find that thing that
Good.
you're passionate about and then put some passion behind it. You like it,
Yes.
go run with it.
Yes. And that's so true. That's like you just name those things. So that's their story. Your
Yeah.
story is an opportunity.
Mhm.
You are your story.
Yeah.
Okay. You are your story. You are your vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
chapter are you on? There's another question, Tiffany. What
Mhm.
chapter are you on?
What
Because
chapter are you on?
chapters change,
They
we go
do.
from chapter to chapter, just like our ages.
Mhm.
Okay. We go
Yeah.
from one age to the next age. Things
Mhm.
change.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are in our lives, what?
Mhm.
For a season, for a reason, for a
Mhm.
lifetime.
Mhm.
So they
Mhm.
change. Those
Yeah.
things change. Things are constantly
Mhm.
shifting and changing in our lives.
Mhm.
So your story is an opportunity.
Mhm. Mhm. And your story.
Your story, what part of the story do you want to bring to your audience?
How about
That
that?
will, and that
How
moves
about
us
that?
into the next one. What
Mhm.
is your connection?
Mhm.
What part of the story do you want to bring to your audience?
Mhm. Yeah.
Whoever that audience is, whose life do you want to impact now? What's
Right.
inside of you? Because
Right.
there's so much inside of each and every one of us.
Sure.
Okay? There's so much inside of each and every one. What do I want to take out now in order to impact this audience over here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? I've impacted this audience over here.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
I've taken out what they need.
Mhm.
Now I'm going over here to this audience.
Mhm.
What do they need? What do I have inside of
Mhm.
me? That's why
Mhm.
you have to know your purpose.
Mhm.
That's why you have to know who you are.
Mhm.
You have
Mhm.
to know who you are and you have
Got
to know your
to.
purpose.
Got to. You have
And
to.
you have to know what's inside of you.
Mhm. Mhm.
You got this because our lives are what?
Mhm.
Our lives, I won't say complicated, but there's many facets to us.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay? We're
Mhm.
multifaceted.
Yeah.
There's so much inside of us.
Mhm.
So it's not just for one group.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. We have something over here for this group. We
Mhm.
have something over here for this group. We have something over here for this group. Just like we were talking about the hardware store.
Mhm.
Okay. We were
Mhm.
talking about entrepreneurs,
Sure.
somebody who has a hardware store.
Mhm.
How can they write their book? Maybe they're gardening over here. Maybe they want to touch those people in gardening.
Mhm.
Okay, they could write their book in that
Right.
for that group. Then
Mhm.
maybe over here they want to touch the decorators, with paint, decorating or whatever.
Mhm.
Then they could write a book about that. Then maybe on the back end, maybe they have plumbers. Okay,
Okay.
they could write a book about plumbing or whatever. You have to find out what's on the inside of you. Your
Mhm.
story is an opportunity.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
what can you pull from yourself in order to write that story, to reach that group of people? There's a lot.
Right.
What is your connection? What is your connection? How
Mhm.
can you connect up with it?
Right. And see, I'm able to connect with my individuals because I know what my story is. I
Mhm.
know I know what it is that I've been through in life. And
Mhm.
what I've been through in life it is what is helping somebody else to overcome. It's not even what's going to, it is what's helping somebody else overcome a lot
Mhm.
of their things that they're going. I am able to connect with my audience because I have been able to, there it goes. That is what
Mhm.
I need to see. I was able to connect with them on again, for me, my particular story is I was a teenage mom. I became a wife,
Mhm.
and then I transitioned from that. So I went from
Mhm.
marriage to being single. I went to being a whole family unit to it's just me and my three. So for me, I am able to go ahead and to relate to certain women. I still can relate to women, period. But there is a certain
Mhm.
class and a certain group of women that I'm able to connect to so that I'm able to make, listen, baby, you don't have to do this life alone. you can still make it. You don't have to be in this particular situation and feel like you are stuck and stagnated there. You're
Mhm.
not having to be incarcerated with just where you're at. You can grow, you can evolve, you can still go back to school, you can get your education, you can have whatever it is that you want. You are your biggest holdup. And when you're able to connect that individual with where they're at to where they can go when you can turn the light
Yes.
on, you got to be able, but some people need to be able to see where you were to where you're going, or where you were to where you're at now, so that they can get going to where they need to be.
That's
But you
it.
need to understand how you're able to connect individuals together.
Yeah, connect them. And like you said, teenage mother. Okay, there's some teenage mothers out there right now. Okay, then you said what? Pastor's kid. There's some. Yeah, there's those out there right now. Then the pastor's wife. There's kids out there right now. There's women out there right now. Pastors' wives.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They're not. They can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going through such
Yeah.
and such.
Mm-hmm.
Then you were married, so you got that with young kids
Mm-hmm.
at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
people there.
Yeah.
Then divorce. You
Mm-hmm.
and your three
Mm-hmm.
young mother.
Yeah.
All those different connectors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What part of the story are you gonna tell?
Right.
Look how
Right.
many groups. Look how many people
Mm-hmm.
that you could connect with, and that's what
Absolutely.
people have to know.
Mm-hmm.
Their story is an opportunity to connect.
Absolutely.
Okay, with all of those different things.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to make that decision. Making
Right.
that decision. Make
Mm-hmm.
that decision. They have to make some decision. They can't hold back.
Right.
They have to
Right.
go forward.
Absolutely.
Be vulnerable.
You need
Tell
to.
your story.
Mm-hmm. You need to
You
be
know?
vulnerable. You have to. I think that's a
Yeah.
lot of times people are just scared to do so.
Mhm.
Because at least for me, I'm only going to own my portion as far as my life goes.
Mhm.
Because I was pregnant at 15, I had my son a month later after turning 16, because
Mhm.
I turned 16 in August. He came in September. And so for me, for a
Mhm.
while, I was really scared to tell that. People would ask me, "Hey, how old are you?" I didn't want to tell you how old I was because I hated to tell you, you what? I hated that. Like, it was very aggravating for me. But then I also would hear, "Well, what made you do that?" Sex made me do it. I got pregnant. I had a kid. Like, seriously? And then you would wonder
Yes.
why you're the rude little kid. I'm really not rude, but I mean, that was kind of rude what you asked me. I mean, it's like, it was
Yeah.
the way it was said. So then, but it made me feel some type of way. And
Yeah.
it was their thoughts that would make me feel bad about my particular life. I'm grateful for my son. Would I have wanted to wait? Sure, but it didn't happen that way. This is my life. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I have to live it. As my grandmother said, this is your bed. You got to lie in it.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm okay. But people, I would be scared to tell certain things of my story. I will be scared to tell my age. I'd be scared to tell, oh yeah, I'm married with a kid. That's easy to tell you that because people want you to be married and having a family. It's not that great of a story, so to speak, to hear for the way society has set it up to be, oh yeah, I have a kid. I got 3 kids. Well, how many baby daddies do you have? Oh, you got 3 kids. I have 1. That's what I have. Okay. So it's the way that they would put on you, and they construct their thoughts to make you feel bad about how your life is, which held me in bondage for a while. And I didn't want to tell anybody anything about my life because I hated their reaction. But once I got over how you are going to react about my life, forgive me, I'm like, to hell with you. This is my life. I appreciate it. And I'm grateful for going through what I went through. I'm grateful for my kids. My kids taught me an awful lot. I'm grateful for my ex-husband. He taught me an awful lot. I'm grateful for being raised in the church. I'm grateful for being a PK.
Yes.
I'm grateful for I have an attitude of gratitude, and I'm grateful for my upbringing, my uprises. I wouldn't be the individual that I am now hadn't I been through some of that. Now, things could be changed. I could have been a greater individual. Things could be worse, but I'm grateful for my now. I'm grateful for who I am. And I'm grateful that I was able to loose the thoughts. And now I'm able to connect to people. And I'm not afraid to tell you, these are they. Girl, you can make this too. Don't
That's
allow
right.
them. Wow. Don't allow that to stop you. don't do it.
Yeah, and
Get over
that's so true. That is so true. That
Mhm.
is so true. And you know
Yeah.
the saints can be mean. I'm just gonna leave that right there. I believe that, but that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Judging people, you shouldn't judge people. You know, you said, you know, that particular day could have been worse. It could have been better. But
Mhm.
who said it's, you know,
Mhm.
that's the way it was supposed to be?
It's the they. They will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
They will put you in bondage. Wanting to know and please the they is going to it can be a world of detriment for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't please the they because they aren't doing what you need to be doing. It's the me. I
Exactly.
need to make sure me is happy. Hence the reason why the book came. I choose me because
Yes,
me
sir.
trying to satisfy the they wasn't profitable for me.
Yeah.
I'm suffering because I got they, and the they is a multitude of people. How can
Yes,
I
sir.
make everybody happy?
You can't. You
I
can't.
can't. So,
You
but I
can't.
can secure this one. I can make me happy.
You can make you happy, and that's all you're responsible for,
All
making
of
you
it.
happy. You know,
Absolutely.
your story again, your story
Mhm.
author is an opportunity. It's an
Absolutely.
opportunity. And just like
Absolutely.
Tiffany said, it's an opportunity to even release some of those things that you know, with the days, the
Yeah.
THEY,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
they, what
Hmm.
they're thinking and different
Hmm.
things like that. Your story
Yeah.
is an opportunity. Make
Absolutely.
decisions that allow for no turning back. Your decision making is an opportunity, okay?
Sure.
You
Hmm.
have plans for your future. Plan your future with your book. Plan your
Hmm.
future.
Hmm.
Remember, what is your passion? What
Hmm.
is that passion? What is that thing that ignites you?
Yeah.
You know, yours was, you know, igniting women that they could, you know, this is where you were. This is how
Hmm.
they could overcome. You
Hmm.
know, mine is with the value thing,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
seeing the value in people where they don't see it
Absolutely.
themselves. You know,
Absolutely.
going to the root cause,
Mhm.
rooting up those things. You know, it's more than for me. It's more than encouragement and
Mhm.
motivation. It's
Mhm.
inspiration.
Come
That's why
on.
I'm an
Mhm.
inspirational book coach because I
Mhm.
get to the root of the
Yeah.
cause. I can
Yeah.
see the root and
Yeah.
plucking up that root. So what we do here, we pluck up that root. You know, where a person now they could breathe and they could continue their writing journey. Since we're talking about books, their book writing journey, we identify those things and give them things what they need to do so they can move on past that, you know,
Sure.
because it's so
Mhm.
much that happened. What
Mhm.
is your connection? Just think of everything that you have on the inside of you and how you could connect with this audience and how you could connect with that audience, because this is our story, you know, and our story has, we're multifaceted, and our story has many chapters in it, many chapters. That brings us to the final one, making a change. You have to decide and be determined to make a change. Make a change in your audience's life with your story, okay? Bring them to that aha moment. Bring them to that transformation, because so many people they need to come to a transformation. You know, a little dab is not doing them, okay? Because what happens? They touching the surface. They're touching the surface, and you know they touch the surface, that ailment or whatever it will what is, put it that way, will move for a minute, then it'll be back. No, make a change. Make a change in people's lives where it brings a transformation. You know, change their lives forever,
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
can understand,
Mhm.
okay, this is where I need to be. I see it now.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
didn't see it before. I didn't understand it before, but now I understand. Now I see it. Now I could change.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that change is for real. You
Mm.
know, that change is for real. And
Yeah.
when the change is for real, that's a transformation.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, and that
Yeah.
change becomes, I love the change. Change is good.
Yeah. Change is
When you
very good.
discover, when you
Hmm.
make your plans and you discover that passion, um, change is for real getting ready to happen. For
It's
real.
getting ready to
And
happen.
it is
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to be able to change. That was one of Obama's things that he was preaching is change. Change is good and the change is necessary. And some things you're not only going to be able to change other people's lives, but you're able to change people's lives because you were able to make the change and you were able to change your mindset. Change matters, okay? There's so much beauty in change. It's a mindset shift. It really is. Instead of us feeling super bad, I don't want to change this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But try it. And I almost can guarantee you the minute that you change doing stuff, you're going to see your passion being profitable. You're going to be able to start seeing the benefits of the great change versus the pain of it. Even if the pain is only for a moment, stump your toe. It only hurts for a little while. I've stumped my toe plenty of times on plenty of things. I don't still feel that pain now. I may remember I did it, but I don't still feel that same pain. It's only for a moment that pain from the change might be uncomfortable. But seriously, change is great.
It's great.
It's definitely going to be worth it.
It's great. Yes, it is. Your story, authors, is an opportunity.
Yes.
Problem solving skills. Okay. Be that problem solver.
Yes.
Be that solution to somebody's problem. Show them on the other side of whatever they may be going through. Bring them there through your message.
Yeah.
You have to see for them what they can't see for themselves. And you have to connect with them in such a way that, sometimes it's even like holding their hands because of their fears, because of, the criticism, because of the judgment, whatever it may be. And they don't want to go through that, or they're afraid to go through that, or whatever. But when you connect up with them in such an emotional way through your message, because your message has a voice, your message, okay, has a voice. You have to remember that. Okay. You have to remember to transform your message into something that will take your audience from where they are to where they need to be to bring that true transformation.
Yeah.
Don't ever hold back on your story.
Sure.
Don't ever hold back on your story, because like I said, your story, is an opportunity, and it opens up many, many opportunities. Your book is just a vehicle for many opportunities.
Come on, vehicle.
It's a vehicle, and everything has a purpose. You have a purpose. Everything has a plan. Your book has a plan.
Sure.
Your book has a plan.
Absolutely.
So learn how to, sit down and really plan your writing, plan your books, because it's a book writing journey.
It is.
And you have a responsibility. You and I and Tiffany and whoever else are authors, we have a great responsibility of transforming our audience's lives, speaking into their lives. So that's something that we shouldn't take lightly. Not at all.
Not at all.
With that being said, if you'd like to get in touch with us, get the information that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's how you can get in touch with Tiffany and myself. I'm the book coach. I'm your inspirational book coach, Gertrude J. Chapman, and it's Tiffany Rochelle. She's a life coach. And this is how you get in touch with both of us. Okay.
And I also put the information in the comments as well. So if they don't write it down here, feel free to click on the links in the comment section.
Hey, that's cool right there. They could get to it very quickly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we will thank you for, taking time out with us today and joining us, on this broadcast of turning your passion into profit. And we hope that what you have heard has brought value to you, that will transform your life. And we thank you for, the comments coming in and the ones who are chiming in and saying, thank you. We really want to know more about writing books or, the life coaching or whatever it may be. We just want to thank you.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for letting us know, how we are helping you either in your life lessons or your book writing journey. So until the next time, remember, this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.
Grace and peace, y'all.